Okay guys, we're back in the world of Suicide Squad where the patch notes have just gone live for today's update. There seems to be quite a decent sized list on this, and to be completely honest and transparent with you, I haven't even gone through it, so we're going to be finding out some of this stuff alongside with you. On top of that though, we have got a load of stuff going on inside of the game, and we are going to be talking about some beef that has been coming from a main artist from the Arkhamverse. It's crazy to say the least, but irrelevant to it. We're going to jump on in to today's video. So if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. On top of that, check out our sponsor Control Freak, the #1 in controller gaming aiming. Yeah, that's right, we made it rhyme. And not only that, but we're going to give you guys 12% off of your purchase via the link in the description and using code CloudPlays at checkout. It's going to get you a cheeky discount and you're going to become a pro at anything controller related. Just saying. With that being said though, let's dive on in to today's video. So starting off, we have got the patch notes for February 21st, and it states the following at the beginning of these patch notes. Hello Task Force X, the main focus of this patch is to address the number of issues that we have seen players run into since launch. Among these are fixes for various crashes, progression blockers, connectivity issues, and several server-side improvements. So there are a couple of points that we want to specifically highlight, and for players experiencing issues while trying to log in, we believe that this patch will address the issue for some. Now we are continuing to investigate further causes of this, and we'll have additional fixes on an upcoming patch. For players experiencing performance issues and disconnects while playing multiplayer, we have addressed a number of issues in this update, and players should see improvements when playing with others. We're also investigating the release of some additional server hotfixes that aim to further improve matchmaking and reduce errors when joining online servers. We are aware that there are other issues that are not yet addressed with this patch, but know that we are laser focused on resolving critical issues as quickly as we can, and we have more fixes on the way in future updates. We aim to follow up with our weekly developer update later this week to address any questions you may have around the contents of this patch. We'll see you in Metropolis. So as it stands right now, you should be able to set the update on your console and or PC, although based on the numbers, definitely on your console. And you should now be able to play with your friends and have easy login movements. As it stands right now, I am trying to get on just on this video, and as I'm pressing the button, it is loading straight up and we are straight into the action online as well. So that's a very, very good show as it goes. But what else are we going to have inside of this release? Because apparently they are aware that they have not addressed everything that's wrong, and they are quote unquote laser focused on resolving critical issues. I'm not too sure laser focused would be the exact terminology, but yeah, we're going to dive on in to what it is that they've got. So changes in this release, and to help more players easily access the end game, we have increased the reward from completing the first Mayhem mission to 9,000 Promethium up to 3,000. We've also increased the rewards from completing Raising Hell. These increases with each tier for some pretty juicy loot and a bunch of Promethium and crafting materials. New Promethium rewards, amounts, and gear drops. Now for tier 1 you get 3,000, tier 2 4,500, tier 3 6,000, tier 4 7,000, and tier 5 8,000. Now each tier will also grant at least one legendary item, and taking out the hit squads will also grant a set amount of gear drops in addition to completing Raising Hell. These drops can only be legendary or notorious items. So for tier 1 we've got tier 3 items, tier 2 4 items, tier 3 5 items, tier 4 5 items, tier 5 5 items. They are, it's nicer to see that we're being rewarded for it to some degree. I think that the problem that we've got with this at the moment is that there's not a massive amount of loot to actually obtain. Now don't get me twisted, the list is actually okay, and as it goes, we have a pretty decent standard for that. And if you are a casual player, you're going to find that you are probably got quite a lot of time to grind the end game for this, and it's probably quite nice to see, to say the least. But unfortunately, if you are more of a primary objective dude and play a lot, then even then these numbers are not really going to hit much for you. So we'll have to see exactly how that one pans out. Next up though, enemies in Hack's support squad mission will now prioritize a shield harvestable state over the burning effect. This should make these missions easier to complete if using a build that often triggers the Diablo Blaze Affliction, and for those using Black Mass Notorious firearms. Also, what else they've done is they have updates for the DPS values for Notorious and Infamy firearms to be consistent across all weapon types within their respective tier and rarity, and Green Lantern infused choppers in Lex's second support squad mission have now been replaced with non-infused choppers. Okie dokie, right, okay, so far nothing too big. If we've got the connection issues down and the login issues down, then I guess that's definitely a positive, to say the least. Although just scrolling through the rest of this, from what I see, this is all just bug fixes, which is something that I'm glad about in some degree, but in some other degree kind of was expecting a little bit more. I think I'm one of those people though, I'm very difficult to keep happy with that regard, I guess, because actually being able to get those levels out there is a little bit lackluster here. Although as we get towards the bottom of the list, there is loads of the localizations for the OG Villains leaderboards, and they've had an absolute shed ton of crash fixes as well, with various additional client crash fixes and server crash fixes. So there's quite nice to see that they're actually hopefully working on a load of these server problems. Yeah, and we've got a load of only for PC addresses right here, where they fixed a bug that was causing players to crash in your Steam friends list to show as not in Argus database, and fixed a bug for resulting in mouse acceleration being disabled. They've also addressed an overly large patch size for PC. It's mental, absolutely mental. But nonetheless, at least they're addressing some of the issues that now, to say that they're trying to do something is at least a positive. But it doesn't seem to be much of a positive overall, because people are still hitting them quite hard. As the Batman Arkham City artist Gabe L.T.A.B., I'm sorry if I butchered your name, dude, but who worked on the Paul Dini and Carlos Danda on the companion comics, roasted DC and Rocksteady Games for their abysmal failure with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. After it was reported that the Suicide Squad had less than 1,000 active players by PC Games N just 2 weeks after the game was released, L.T.A.B. posted to X. Now, I don't think that that's an actively formal movement. They're less than 1,000 players on PC. Okay, let's be like real on it. Don't get me twisted, the numbers are probably still quite low. The game wasn't absolutely incredible. It didn't get pushed out in a very good manner, but let's not just take the absolute donkey with it. There's like not 1,000 people playing this. It's just a renowned fact. When we take a look at what it is that he actually said, though, this one is it's pretty brutal, to say the least. He says, "I guess I was right, DC official and Rocksteady Games. You left-wing activists cannot make great or even mediocre art. Enjoy your failure, you've earned it. You could never match what I did with Carlos Danda and Paul Dini in the Arkham universe. Art is about truth and beauty. Commies are nothing but cowards and hacks. Don't hire SJWs, activists, unless you want to lose money." That is mental. Holy cow. I don't really know how to kind of take that one. I think that we're looking across two different organizations completely, I think. Now we have an actual forward movement from here, as their reply was hidden by an original post author, but Gabe actually replied with, "I worked on it, you didn't. Please be quiet. None of our work was left-wing activism. SJW bigots always think conservatives equals evil, so anytime evil is fought, they think it's woke. Laughable." Wow. Okay. This dude has got some obvious issues. This is a comic book artist and writer. I don't actually think that he's got a real leg to stand on with this one, because I don't think the art itself was actually terrible. I think that the overall sort of like concept of the game was what the biggest struggle was. The art actually isn't that bad, and it's a computer game, it's not a comic book. They kind of stem in a whole different ball, so I don't really think that that stands for anything. But I want to know what you guys are thinking to all of the stuff that's been said in today's video. If you haven't already though, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. I'd be greatly appreciated. If you got this far in this video and you're interested in Elden Ring at all, we've had some incredible news, and we have a live reaction cammed video for you guys just here in the top right annotation, and it'll be on the end card for you guys to just click on. It's been a good day for content. Make sure you guys jump on into it. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the clouds.